Hey, it's Mark Ferguson with Investor More, and I'm standing outside the Mini Mart and liquor store and apartments that I bought last year, just about a year ago. So we've owned the store almost a year now, or maybe it has been a year. It's been open about 11 months, and it's been interesting. So I've learned a lot. This is my first time venturing into a store business like this, and it's been fun, interesting, and difficult at times as well. So I'll talk about some of the difficulties, some of the positives, some of the things I've learned. And one of the biggest challenges has just been employees, management, things like that. So we have a really good manager right now. Took us some time to find that person, but then we also have kind of employee issues that go along with that. And those difficulties of being an owner and having a manager who should have control and authority, and employees not always realizing that. So we'll talk about some of that too. And then yes, our fire hydrant did get run into by a truck, and someone had told me that and just sent me a picture of it laying on the ground. But then we saw on one of the local news pages the police were looking for a truck and has some camera footage of it. So we'll show you that too. Of course, something crazy happened. But the good news is this fire hydrant was not in use. It was set for repair, so there wasn't a giant gusher of water pouring out of it. And I think it happened right before Christmas when it was really cold, so it actually might have been really, really cool to see a giant gusher of water and ice fountain all over the place. But alas, we do not see that. That's okay. All right. Love the likes, love the comments, love the shares. Keep those coming. Had a lot of crazy stuff. The store's been relatively sane. And then we do have some decisions to make this year on employees, different things going on there. The trees are okay, not amazing. We still don't have some of the things finished, like paint and different things. There's other business opportunities we might talk about with this building as well. All kinds of different things going on. And all the apartments are rented now. We rented the last apartment here about a month ago, maybe a little over that. So we can talk about the numbers too. And then I'll put together all the sales numbers for the last year too, so you can see how that's done. It does make money, not a ton of money, but I think there's potential to do very well. Just have to tweak a few things, change a few things, and go from there. All right, we'll take a look inside and go over some of the pros and cons of owning this store for almost a year now. So here is the store. Looks so much different than when I bought it. It was kind of dark. We added coolers, we added so much inventory. We'll talk about how that's impacted sales and profit here at the end as well, because it's kind of a tricky little formula to figure out there. But one thing I also want to talk about is the current management ownership situation. I own the store, I own the building, and I don't have any day-to-day responsibilities at all. So I'm not here working, I'm not behind the register, I'm not ordering anything. Our current manager hires people, does scheduling, keeps track of inventory, hires or orders product, talks to our vendors, does all kinds of great stuff. And then we meet with them every couple of weeks ago, see if there's any issues, any problems. And I come into the store maybe once a week just to check on things, see how things go, maybe steal some different stuff here from myself. And it's been going very good. So it's our third manager. It's taken some time to find the right one. We think we have the right one now. Done just a fantastic job. One thing that's concerning is always when I show up and we're out of milk, which we are right now, and that's our vendor who their truck had a radiator leak today, so they're late getting to us today. And that's how tight we cut some of our inventory. If they don't come with a scheduled time, sometimes we run out, and it's hard to get them to up their orders and do more. It's not that we don't want to order more, it's that they don't want to give us more because supply is tight right now for food, and they're having a tricky time getting everybody supplied. So that's one of my rants about interest rates and why I think it's ridiculous to have high interest rates right now, because one of the things that costs a lot is food, and it's real hard for companies to hire more people, expand, and create more supply when interest rates are so high. But now I'm on a tangent anyway. But with the manager, we've had a tricky situation where I think some of the employees don't believe the manager has power or clout to hire, fire, do their job. And we had a meeting today actually where I was pretty much saying, hey, you've got full power to do what you feel is best. I appreciate it if you keep me in the loop. If you have questions, ask me. For major things, maybe we talk about it first, but no, I left some major decisions up to them. And so we'll see how that works here in the future. We do have some different things that will be happening here soon at the store. But this is the liquor side. As you see, again, added so much inventory over here. There was not very much when I bought the store. And I think that has helped out a lot. But we'll show you some of the sales figures, which aren't the best. They're okay, but they could be a lot better. I think some of the employees were testing their boundaries, seeing how much they could get away with, and then just quite a bit of things aren't being done. Kind of like the trees outside, where they still have Christmas lights up. They're supposed to be off weeks ago. They weren't done very well, kind of not really done with approval, things like that. And we added a lot of liquor, which was very expensive, and added a lot of inventory, and took a lot of our profits as well. So the store hasn't made much money, and our sales were actually much better during the summer. We'll show you that. But technically, we've got more money in the bank account now, which is an interesting conundrum. And it all has to do with how much inventory we order versus sales versus time we're open. Just all kinds of different things that go into it. And it can be tricky kind of figuring out all those equations and how everything works together. But the real important thing, the thing I like to look at the most is how much money is in the bank account. Obviously, we have a separate business, separate bank account for the liquor store, Mini Mart, and we can see, right, is there a positive gain, a positive loss for the last month? And that lets us know really how the store is doing once it's stabilized. And I think we finally got it stabilized to where we have the right amount of inventory that we want. A lot of the first year of the store was adding inventory, buying more stuff. And so even though the store was making money on paper, the bank account was not showing it because we just kept adding more and more inventory. And if you're wondering, when you do go to sell a business like this, you sell the business, maybe sell the real estate with it, typically the inventory is sold separately. So there is that value where even though you're spending all this money on inventory, if you did ever decide to sell the store, you will probably be getting it back, and hopefully, you sell that inventory to customers and get your money back that way. This is also the back room. I am working on getting my deli license for the store, so that involves putting in a mop sink and me passing a certification for food. I'm done with my class. I just have to take my test, so that's exciting. Then we can serve hot dogs and sandwiches. We can prepare some food if we want to. I'm have to be very careful with all that, the laws and rules and everything. That's why I have to take my food certification test. And I think it's good I take it. That way I know how everything goes. If we change managers, change staff, then I still have that license myself. And yes, we do have a nice, pretty clean stockroom. And I saw we had RC back here. I haven't seen RC forever, so I was pretty excited when I saw that. I don't see it on the shelves yet, but I do see it back there. And that's one thing I like to do is try and stock interesting and different stuff that not every store has. We are in a very small town, and if we can give people a reason to come here, keep coming back, then by all means, I'd love to do that. This is our back liquor storage room. That is very stocked. Like I said, when I bought the store, it was not at all. So it's good to see that. Like I said, we've kind of hit a pretty steady equilibrium in inventory, I think, now. And if we get way busier, we can order more. If we don't get as busy, we can order less. And that's been nice to see. We have a little bit of high-end stuff, some more expensive stuff, where if we go through that, that'll be a pretty good profit. So it's pretty stabilized at the moment. Now, hopefully that doesn't change. And hopefully we can increase our sales now. That's kind of the goal for the next year, is work on increasing the sales and get that up. Like I said, by offering more food options, hopefully we can do that. We're always open to more drink options, alcohol options as well. And if we can provide more breakfast and lunch options too, I think that'd be really cool. We've added donuts, we've added more coffee options. Like I said, we'd love to get some breakfast burritos in there, some different options for lunch, things like that too. I think that would be awesome to hopefully increase our sales. And yep, lots of room for different stuff that we can have back here too if we do need to add inventory. And before I show you the sales, I wanted to ask people too, what do you think of these trees? These are the trees that kind of have the haphazard Christmas lights on them right now that are supposed to have been removed a while ago but are still there. And right now it's not so bad, but in the summer, spring, fall, when they're full of leaves, it's real hard to see the store with the trees. So we're thinking of either trimming them way back or maybe even just getting rid of them completely. And then we do need to finish some painting on one side of the store. And the other side of the store, we want to paint a giant liquor store sign on the very top of the building so people can see it from farther away. And I mentioned thinking about starting another business here. You know, I mentioned in one of my other videos about wanting to start a laundromat, that not working. I've also thought about doing it here somewhere. But again, the same issue where if I built another building, I'd have to, you know, get a bunch of water, do a bunch of different stuff. But maybe I could add a few machines in the back, or there's a garage area in back maybe. So that's been on the crossing my mind as well too. So that's something I think about, but I don't know if I would ever do that or not. But let's take a look at the sales and see what they have done. Like I said, the sales were pretty weak in the beginning. Then it's really fun watching them go up and seeing us be able to increase sales. This is the weekly revenue. Typically we have about a 30% profit margin in that range. We have a bunch of other costs. And we were making pretty good money there in the beginning when we were reaching $20,000 a week in sales. Probably making close to $10,000 a month or so. But as I said, a lot of that was going straight back into buying more inventory, improving the store, so we weren't actually seeing that in the bank account. Now our sales have dropped off dramatically, and there's some questions there on if that is just because of the time of year. Obviously, we're closed for some period of time for Thanksgiving, for Christmas. That made us have some real bad weeks. But at the same time, when you're closed, you don't have as many costs, employees, things like that. If you aren't selling as many goods, you aren't buying as much inventory, so it's not like it's a complete loss. And then we just don't know if some of the employee problems were kind of running over into sales as well from people not wanting to go to the store. And it's tricky for me. I don't want to like give too much information, talk too much about that situation, because obviously some people might see my videos, friends might see the videos, so I try and be as non-specific as I possibly can about that. And the big issue is just letting the manager do her job and figure out what she thinks is best, and I have trust in her, and we're going with that route. But hopefully, with the start of the new year, with different things, with getting a deli license, things like that, we can improve the sales. And it'll be real interesting to see, too, come spring, if that really pops up again, because the weather can obviously have a huge impact on sales as well, too, especially when we have a cold snap where it's minus 20 degrees outside and nobody wants to go anywhere. So that's a factor as well. So that is the update on the store. I actually used one of my companies to buy the inventory when I first bought the store in the beginning, because I needed money to purchase the inventory. Is a pretty big amount. And we are able to start paying back that company, even though sales are down. We're starting to be able to pay them back some of that money as things stabilize. So if we can get sales up, revenue up, I think it'll be really good and really cool to see all that happen. All right. Thanks for watching. Love the comments, love the shares, love the likes, love to hear what you like. Fellow store owners out there too, love to hear your thoughts as well. We'll have more updates on this as time moves on and we keep improving it. And hopefully we'll have some better sales figures here in the future as well. All right. Thanks for watching. Be back soon.